we're back at it once again, into the dark webs, into the darkness, into the horror movie review we go. And this time it is a horror bull movie review.
Oh
With
God.
me, as always, is my good buddy of 24 years this year, Billy. How about that? You made
Beelzebub
it.
went with the devil name.
Beelzebub. He upgraded his name, Beelzebub. Yes. Congratulations, Beelzebub. You have done it. You have managed to stay friends with me for 24 years. I think
Yes.
that's more exciting than this movie, man.
I actually was almost like torn on the friendship. It was like I had to see this movie because my friend told me to see it. Maybe I made a bad choice.
Like this friendship. I feel like I made a bad choice today.
Bad life choice.
Yeah, this one was oof. Oof, oof, oof. Let's get in the synopsis. When his daughter, Angela, and her friend, Catherine, show signs of demonic possession, it unleashes a chain of events that forces single father Vic Fielding to confront the nadir of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who witnessed anything like it before. Dun, dun, dun. All right, well, let's just hop into the cast. And we've got Ellen Burstyn, Olivia O'Neill is one of the young girls, Lydia Jewett is the other one, Leslie Odom Jr., Jennifer Nettles, Ann Dowd, and phoning it in, Raphael Sergi, the pastor.
Yeah.
Oof. That was those guys. I hope they paid them well. Let's just leave it at that. Well, we went into the cast, we went into the synopsis. Is there anybody that you remembered from anything in this? They seem like all new folks to me.
More or less. I mean, well, the mom from the first Exorcist movie, and
Yeah.
there was briefly at the very end a cameo from Linda Blair.
Right.
Which I will give as many spoilers as I can because I don't want you to see this. Please, whatever you do not see this movie. I'm begging
yeah, let me
you,
save you an hour and 30 minutes. Don't watch this movie.
Even if you see this movie for free on cable, ask for your money back.
Ask for the time back somehow. Get a TARDIS. Get your time back. Leslie Odom Jr., he was in Hamilton.
Yeah, he was great in Hamilton.
Yeah, he was great in Knives Out. I didn't see Glass Onion yet. And nor did I see Harriet, but yeah, he was there in this movie. He definitely wasn't like a standout, but he was kind of like the best actor in this movie. Like it was like, okay, what are we doing here? Well, let's just hop into it. Let's talk about what worked. It's going to be very short. The makeup. The makeup was the only thing that worked for me. Like when they snapped that priest head in half, I was like, oh man, that's sick. It's the only thing that was like, whoa, this is worth remembering. Everything else was like, that's for me. That's it. That's all I got.
For me, it had a short run time. It was not short enough, but it had a short run time.
Man. Look, this is low bar. We talked about the low bar. We are the bar. Wow. Luckily, this was a short movie. Thank God. If it was a 2-hour movie, I think I would have just twisted my own neck until it broke in pieces like the pastors. Oh, man. Well, this is going to be the longer section. All right. What didn't work? First of all, you had this whole thing in Haiti that led you to believe that the people that were praying over her were perhaps voodoo people. And it could have been a premise where the voodoo people kind of messed it all up for the young family because the earthquake happened right after they so-called blessed her. So it was like, oh, was that the reason why all these bad things happened? Was it the voodoo? And then come to find out, now we got another voodoo lady to come come and bless the house so we can get rid of the bad people. And then she was like, all right, go throw this water down, like away to the east. Just right. And then you're like,
Yep.
okay. And then homeboy throws it in a fucking grate. I'm like, dude, water flows backwards, man. It's gonna flow right back to where your house is. You're defeating the purpose. It's like, oh man. And then the girl's acting was pretty good. The acting wasn't awful in this movie, but the pace was off. Something just didn't seem right. Give
And
us your God, Beelzebub.
my first thought is, if this is what people were fighting for the writer's strike, I unfortunately side with AI. Please,
Oh
God,
no.
don't hire these people anymore. What the hell is wrong with you people? You
Oh
gave these
God.
guys money. These guys got paid. These guys don't deserve it. I
Yeah.
mean, let's face it. First, yes, there was a voodoo thing, which was interesting, but did we also not see like some of the stuff coming? Like, yes, the priest was going to be killed off very quickly and like unceremoniously.
Mm-hmm.
The mother from the first Exorcist was going to get sidelined. We knew that was coming because she's a legacy character. Legacy characters always get sidelined.
Yep.
The single dad, of course, we have. Well, actually, we had the one moment that was kind of a shocker, where they say like, "Oh, he had a choice between saving his wife or saving his kid. He chose to save the wife." Yeah, that totally didn't surprise me. I mean,
But then the kid survived anyway.
but then the kid survived anyway, and then I'm like,
The wife
okay,
died.
so that's going to be the foreshadowing of what's going to happen later on. Somebody's going to say like, save someone else, and the kid's going to survive, and everybody else is going to die again. And oh, what's that? Save Catherine. Oh, then
All right,
Catherine
we're
dies.
killing the other one.
It's like,
Yeah.
so basically, we just know that Angela lives because nobody wanted her to live.
Yeah. We wanted
She's going to be in therapy for the rest of her life. She's going to be like,
wow, they didn't want me to live. What the fuck, Dad?
she's like, even told Dad wanted me to die, and then total strangers wanted, and then my friend's parents want me to die. Everybody wanted me to die.
Poor kid. Awful, awful, awful. What else,
And
man?
all I kept on looking at was, and like those parents are probably, they might say it sooner or later. They're going to be like, the wrong kid lived, and you're going to be like, you assholes.
What the
Actually, I
fuck
would have
was
loved that if that line was in the movie. Just had like the parents like, oh shit,
like
the wrong one lived.
20 years later? Wrong one lived. One thing that bugged me was like, where the heck were they? Where they were like in the woods and there was water that was stagnant? Like, whoa, what happened? That totally didn't make sense. It was like, whoa, what's going on? And then they stumble on the same place and they find the shoe. So that was like the portal to hell. Is that what that was?
Yeah, and also like, what was with the necklace that was floating that they never do anything with?
Yes, that's right. It was like this. I thought he was
Because
gonna
she
get
has to
like,
the
I was gonna
necklace that
wreck
was
him.
part of the blessing that the mom had. It's like, okay, so the mom's good luck blessing necklace was on the kid, and then the kid's not wearing it anymore. Okay, so that means that she's not blessed anymore, because that means she's gonna get possessed. And he just leaves it there. He doesn't take that thing back, and that thing doesn't have any significant value to the rest of the plot of the movie whatsoever.
It's the infamous MacGuffin. Oh
They were
man, there
like,
was some, and then there was like a
oh, we got
random snake. Like snakes live under rocks underwater now. What the fuck's going on in
apparently,
Georgia?
yeah, just like, and also like apparently the shoes and stuff, and yeah, they just found them in a barn somewhere, and they never have like any of the consequences for that. Like,
No, I mean
yeah,
their feet were jacked up.
yeah, and they're in some stranger's barn, and you don't have somebody like, okay, why are we questioning this guy that found them in the barn? What do
Yeah,
we? Why did you have my kids in your barn?
yeah.
What the fuck?
There was no consequences for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, shouldn't that guy have been like, shit? I just found them. I did not touch them. I don't know what happened to their feet. I don't know what the fuck happened. Please don't
Sir, you know
arrest
you
me.
have a foot fetish. You're on only feet. You're going to jail,
Uh,
sir. You and your foot creepo stuff.
Yeah, whatever you did to those teen girls, they're traumatized. They keep on talking in tongues. They're
Yeah.
They thought they lost fucking only 3 hours. What did you do? They blocked out the past couple of days.
What were
You
you
are
doing in that
sick
party, you
man.
sick bastard?
Yeah, why did Victor just like punch the guy out? Like just like boom.
Say
Like,
something. It just
yeah,
didn't
just
make
like,
any sense.
just have like, oh, this actually happened for this part. I mean, it just seems like one of those movies where something happens and then something else happens.
And then it's over.
Did anything have a consequence? No.
No. Not even
Did
close.
anything serve any purpose? No.
Mm-mm.
But did you learn anything or have any major developments from character growth or anything like that? No. Do you regret
Is there
seeing this
any
movie?
way
Yes.
is there any redeeming features of this movie? Well, Linda Blair
No.
makes a cameo.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Linda Blair making a cameo at the very end. It's like, yay. Why
Mhm.
wasn't she in it? And also, I thought about one thing that they said. Chris was the only person to witness an exorcism. What about Reagan, the person that was actually the participant in the exorcism?
Yeah, right. Why don't you guys just look up Linda Blair? She actually went through it. It would make a lot more sense than just
And
talking to her
also,
mom. I think the mom just wanted
weren't
to
there
do another
sequels
movie.
to The Exorcist?
Yeah, that's right. So didn't other people get possessed?
Yes. I could have sworn there was an Exorcist 3.
There was a few. There was Exorcist 2, and obviously because there's a third. Let's look this up real time. That's why you come to 2 be seen, because we are in the know.
Yeah, just because like there were multiple Exorcist movies.
Yeah, there was Exorcist, right? 1973, The Exorcist 2 in 77, and The Exorcist 3 in 1990. So it's like there was a bunch of them. And then there was The Exorcist the beginning in 2004, and then a year later there was a prequel called Dominion that was technically Exorcist 5. And Exorcist 2 is called The Heretic, and all of these are better than this one.
Yeah, so this is Exorcist 6 for Christ's sake.
Technically, yeah.
So, yes, there's only one person in the very first movie that ever experienced this, and not the person that was possessed, the mom.
Yeah. The mom. Yeah,
who
yeah.
was
And
not
none
in
of
the
any of those
room
other
during
people.
any of the thing.
Yeah, like she was. I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't remember the mom at all in that movie. Maybe in the beginning when you see the faces in the walls and stuff, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but don't worry. The only reason why she wasn't in there was because of the patriarchy.
The patriarchy. And how
Yeah,
like
and it wasn't the fact that let's see, the father. Let's see, what was his name?
Billy?
Father Marion or whatever. Freaking died painful death.
What, in the original?
Yeah, the original priest.
Oh yeah,
Priest dies.
didn't he like go get chucked out the window?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but don't worry. He wasn't trying to protect the mother from basically getting killed by the devil like he did. It was all to protect the patriarchy.
Yeah.
It was all the patriarchy. That was all he cared about. It wasn't trying to depossess Linda Blair, trying to like save a child.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's actually a comedy parody of The Exorcist with Leslie Nielsen and Linda Blair called Repossessed, which is a better sequel to this thing than this thing is.
This thing is, yeah, this is a tough one, man. I mean, in the beginning of the film where the single father meets the parents of the other little girl, and the dad starts wailing on the horn, move, buddy, come on, move. And it was just like, dude, calm down, man. Like, who ate your cornflakes? Jesus.
Yeah, and they also like completely forgot like what happened to like Victor's friend. Like, I mean, like, what was the deal with that dude that had like the voodoo people? Like, because Victor wasn't bringing the voodoo people in the house to cleanse it, the neighbor was.
Right.
What's
Exactly.
the neighbor story, and why did the neighbor like disappear during parts of a movie? Like,
The neighbor was out. He's like, yo, this is some scary shit. I'm out. You
yeah,
know?
it's like the neighbor actually even found like the lady that they sent for at the end, who told them to dump the water. It's like, oh, you mean that new age lady that's not a, that's like voodoo but not quite voodoo?
Yeah, I don't know what was going
She
on
gets
there.
found by the neighbor, not by him, and then
Who
she
was in
never,
Haiti?
and then he never comes back to her or ever does anything. But they also have that, well, win by the power of friendship.
Yeah.
But
We're
they
gonna be
weren't
so
friends. What the
friends.
fuck is this?
That's what the
They
devil
don't
said. They
know
were like,
each other. What the fuck is this friendship thing? I
that's
need
the
all
two
of you
devils are like,
guys.
is it? Are you guys serious? This isn't gonna do anything. This is really stupid. You know, I just didn't get that. Yeah, so it just didn't make sense. Like too many variables, too much inconsistency, and way too waste of time. Do you think it would be better served as a TV movie rather than in the theaters?
No. If this had been written by ChatGPT, I would forgive it
But it
because
wasn't.
I just say that they put in some bad prompts.
Right.
But no, this was written by human beings. People actually took credit in this.
Do they?
Actually,
You know
like,
who they
look to
are?
see how many freaking writers took credit for this piece of shit.
Mm. Keeps getting worse and worse for the writing room.
Because this movie, which I regret having seen,
Mm.
was written by how many freaking people? 3 writers. 3 people wrote this piece of shit.
They were like, "Oh, word. Let's just let's just wrap this up." Like that's the other thing. The ending was so bad that it was
Oh
just
wait,
like,
actually, I'm wrong. 6 people wrote this. Six
"Oh,
people wrote this.
six
That
people
actually
got
makes it
together and said,
worse.
yeah, 6 people got together and were like, you know what? Let's just wrap this up. Let's just. You remember those old teasing games that we had when we were kids? You know, like, oh, you need to choose between hamburgers and hot dogs. And then you go, oh, I choose hot dogs. Well, you're getting a hamburger, son of a bitch. And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it ended.
Yeah,
Literally. Literally. It was an old
literally. I
tease.
mean, it said like, which person's more important to you? Okay, this person. Okay, then that person's the one I kill. Wait, what? No.
Yeah. It
Oh, you
made,
mean you didn't see that coming? I mean, it's the fucking devil. Did you not
yeah,
think the devil would lie to you?
exactly. This is his whole
And
purpose.
worst of all, it's the Christian family that does that. They're like the ones that know like
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
But of
Yeah. I
course you
mean,
knew that they were going to be the selfish ones because
they
they got to
went,
make,
they leaned into it too much.
yeah, they telegraph everything in this movie.
Yeah. It's easily figured
At a
out.
certain
It's
point you're
a
like,
mystery.
yeah, I mean even at that point when they said like one shot choose which one lives, it's like, oh, yep, I know which one they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
I mean,
mentioned like the
mhm.
part where they said like, oh, Victor even had the choice between the mother and the daughter, and he chose the mother. It's like, okay, so then that choice is going to happen again, and they're going to have the same situation happen again.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Well, we didn't think much of this movie, as you can tell. We don't have this in high regard, and it's not movies that we're going to be looking to see again. Unlike The Creator, which I think you guys should go back and see. And I happened to be lucky enough to walk by a theater that the door angle was weird, and then I got to see some pieces of The Creator again because the Taylor Swift movie was in all the other theaters, and that was the one other movie playing. So let's see what other people thought. Well, the reception here, Exorcist Believer. Yeah, so both the audience and the critics gave it very, very low reviews. We got 22% rotten from the critics and 59% from the audience. So that's bad popcorn.
I feel bad for that audience. The ones that gave that a 59% obviously have not seen enough horror movies to know that there are much better options out there that they could have lowered that rating.
I couldn't believe that it got that high. And then what's even more surprising is the reception of how people went to see it. It got $84 million worldwide and made 44 million here in the States. So I'm like, really? People actually went back to see, like, went in for this? I'm shocked.
It was like one of the first movies, like horror movies that's not a like a mystery movie for Halloween.
Yeah.
And it was in the first weekend of October with a
Yeah.
holiday weekend because some people did have off Monday for Columbus Day.
True. And of course, the juggernaut that is Taylor Swift took the box office this weekend.
I feel bad
$96
that the
million.
creators suddenly so far down on the list, and
Yeah, that's so
Saw
sad.
10 and Paw Patrol beat it.
Again, it's like Paw Patrol and Saw 10 beat it the last 2 weeks. So,
But seriously, Exorcist, why is that the number 2 movie in the country?
yeah, it should have been the creator. You know,
Actually, if anything, I'd say The Exorcist should have been very further down. People should have.
It should be swapped with the creator.
Yeah.
The Exorcist should be where the creator is, and the creator should be where the Exorcist is. Oh man. Well, let's have our final glance. Save yourself the time and stay home. Good night. No.
No, that's actually right. I mean, if you have a friend that wants to see this movie, talk them out of it. Just shake the shit out of them and just go no. Don't you dare. Stop it. Whatever you do, don't do this. Don't do this to us. Don't do this to yourself. You are too good for this. Don't see this movie. I beg of you.
Yeah.
Have some self-respect and self-decency.
Man. I think this is going to close the book on the Exorcist movies. I think this is going to finally say, the studio is going to say, you know what? Let's not do this anymore.
If they do a reboot, please just erase this chapter from history.
Yeah. And there was no stakes either. It was like, wow, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's just so bad. Ugh. And then, the other thing, it wasn't scary at all. It was just, wasn't creepy, wasn't scary. The little girl's being all demonic and everything. Like when
it's not anything new or unexpected. I mean, it's like,
right.
As
she does the same thing.
This is the sixth Exorcist. I've seen this before, and there's been parodies of The Exorcist. And I mean, hell, the Scary Movie franchise did a freaking better version of this thing.
What
and
killed
those were
me?
God awful.
Yeah, what killed me is like some of the CGI effects, like the practical stuff. The makeup was cool. What happened to the priest was cool, but like that CGI when the little girl picks up out of the chair, starts floating, and then throws up all over the ceiling, and it looks like it opens a portal. I was expecting like maybe a hand would come out, and then oh wow, this is the thing that's possessing them all this time, but nothing happened. It was just no, it's just throw up on the ceiling, swirling like a toilet, and it was just like, why? Well, this was a tough one to sit through, even though it was only an hour and 30 minutes, 90-minute movie. It was like painful and something I really don't want to relive. So I highly don't
made me
recommend
think, like back in the day when people used to have video stores.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember those days.
And there used to be a thing that happened with VHS. If you ran it over a magnet, you could erase it. I would do this to every rental copy of this movie just to be doing this a favor to everybody out there. I would just rent this movie, just erase the hell out of every single copy and just return them to the store so that no one else has to suffer like I did.
Oh my God. Sir, why do you keep running a magnet over this? Oh, I'm doing that here? I'm sorry. I was supposed to take this home and do it. I'll be back. Sir, we paid real money for that. Well, then you should get all of it back. Oh, man. Well, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us for this short review of a terrible movie. Let us know what you thought. Did you think this was not bad? And, if you thought this was a good movie, what kind of drugs are you on? And can you share them? So, and pick a movie. We are getting into spooky season. There's some other movies that are coming out. We're gonna check them out at due course. But if there's something that you should recommend to us, a movie that we haven't seen, let us know. We will
Oh,
check it
actually,
out.
got one recommendation for people out there now, I guess, because
What's
like
that?
we're in the holiday season.
Yeah.
The Mean One is available on Amazon. You can actually
All right.
rent
So
that movie.
let's see that next week. We're gonna review The Mean One. We're gonna get right into it, and then we'll be doing a bunch of different horror movies until November, and then November we'll do a new slate of movies. Maybe we'll do the Marvels or something. I don't know. I don't really want to see that, but yeah. And if you could do us a favor, please subscribe and give us a like. It's free and it helps us so many ways you wouldn't believe. It means a lot more than this movie means to us. If you give us a like, and it would kind of like release the evil that's in the souls of the young, and it would mend the wounds that have kind of burrowed into our chests from watching this terrible movie.
I haven't suffered this much since Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that.
This is the worst movie I've seen since that.
Yeah, that one was a bad one. And by the way, follow us on social media at To Be Seen. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Reels. Reels? No, it's Threads. Threads. You can follow us on Threads. I'll get it. I'm not used to these social medias, but yeah, follow us on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Give us a like on Facebook. And there's more stuff. We post memes and all types of fun things. And if you saw us on me at Comic Con this weekend, make sure you say, "Hey, it's so and so from Comic Con." I appreciate that. But join us next week when we're talking about The Mean One. We'll be talking about a Christmas horror movie based on a Dr. Seuss book, which is an unlikely place to find a horror movie.
Unless you're Jim Carrey.
Unless you're Jim Carrey. Yeah,
He
well,
has nightmares about that film for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's definitely suffered through that more so than most. And if you enjoyed my voice because you didn't enjoy the movie, please be sure to check me out on the Captain's Quadrant every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hang out with my buddy from Texas, and that's Jason Roy Gasson. We sit and we talk about Star Trek, and it's a fun time. We have a lot of laughs. There's a lot of good things that happen there, unlike this movie, The Exorcist did. And if you want to go and check more out from Jason, you can check out his channel, the Jason Roy Gaston channel. He's got a lot of fur babies, including one human fur baby. And then that human fur baby has his own channel, and he did the graphics for us. So if you ever need graphics, let us know. And that's Pop Culture Spread, and talking about the news and streaming of movies right on their channel. And those are some of the movies that we'll be reviewing in the future. But do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. All right, Billy, we'll talk about the Grinch that killed Christmas next week.
Yes, much better movie.
I hope so. I'm putting you to the test, buddy. If that movie sucks, I'm gonna be so mad. Like, dude, 2 in a row, badass, sucky movies.
I didn't say it was great, but I'm just saying it's better than Exorcist.
I didn't say it was great. I just said it was available.